Have you ever really looked at a plant and just wondered how it all works? I mean, how does it actually get the strength to stand up tall? And how does it build the systems to keep itself alive? Well, that's exactly what we're about to break down, a plant's entire foundation, right down to the cellular level.
So yeah, that really is the big question, isn't it? How does a plant manage all of that at the same time? The answer lies in something called permanent tissue, and it's the secret behind, well, everything, from that crunch in a piece of celery to the tallest tree in the entire forest.
So what even is it? Well, think of it this way. Plants start out with young cells that are just dividing like crazy, kind of like our stem cells. But at some point, these cells, they grow up. They stop dividing and they essentially choose a career. They get a specific job. And this whole mature, specialized workforce, that's what we call permanent tissue.
But it's not just one big group of cells doing the same thing. No, this tissue actually splits into two major types. And if you can understand the difference between these two, the whole system just kind of clicks into place.
And here's that big split, simple versus complex tissues. And honestly, it's a really straightforward idea. Simple tissue is made of only one type of cell. You can picture a work crew where every single person has the exact same job. Complex tissue, on the other hand, that's made of a bunch of different types of cells all working together. It's more like a specialized team, where every member has their own unique, important role. Okay, so let's start with the simple tissues. You should think of these as the fundamental workers of the plant. They form the bulk of its structure, and they're the ones carrying out all the most essential day-to-day jobs. And this workforce breaks down into three main roles. First, you've got parenchyma. Just think of this as the plant's pantry, the soft living cells that store its food and handle photosynthesis. Then you have collenchyma. These are like the plant's flexible joints. They give support, but they also allow it to bend and grow. And finally, we have sclerenchyma. These are the tough ones. They provide rigid strength, and they do this by growing incredibly thick cell walls and then dying, creating a hard, woody skeleton. Yep, we're talking nutshells. So if the simple tissues are the workers, then the complex tissues, they're the highways. This is the plant's internal plumbing, its delivery system. It's responsible for moving all those critical resources from one part of the plant to another. And, without this system, the plant just wouldn't survive. It's that vital. The first part of this highway system is the xylem. Its job is super specific. It's a one-way street that transports water and minerals up from the roots. And it's incredibly efficient because, get this, the cells that make up the xylem are actually dead, forming these long, hollow tubes. They're basically perfect, uninterrupted pipes for water to just flow right through. The other half of this highway system is the phloem. So after the leaves make food through photosynthesis, the phloem takes over. It acts like a distribution network, kind of like a food delivery service, moving those sugars from the leaves to any part of the plant that needs a little energy, whether that's the growing tips, the flowers, or even the roots way down below for storage. Now, when you see xylem and phloem bundled together, they form something called a vascular bundle. And this is the absolute lifeline of the plant. It's the whole circulatory system, making sure water gets pulled up and food gets sent out everywhere it needs to go. Okay, so that was a pretty quick tour of a plant's internal world, but you can see how it all connects so beautifully, right? So let's lock it all in with a super quick 5-point recap. Just 5 things. That's all you need to remember from all this. All right, here we go. 1. Permanent tissue is just mature cells that have specialized jobs. 2. There are 2 main types, simple, made of one cell type, and complex, made of many. 3. The simple workers are parenchyma for storage, collenchyma for flexibility, and sclerenchyma for pure strength. 4. The complex highways are xylem for moving water up and phloem for moving food around. And 5. Together, those highways form the vascular bundles, which are the plant's absolute lifeline. So let's end on a final thought, just to tie this all back to the real world. Now that you know all this, which tissue do you think provides that satisfying crunch when you bite into a piece of celery? And which one gives a nutshell its incredible hardness? The answer is hiding right there in the simple tissues.